Hey guys, so last video I was talking about how when things go my way, how I like for things to be going my way and it makes me happy, and that I figure everybody pretty much likes it when everything goes the way that they want it to go or the way they expect it to go. And so I got a story to tell. I've got this special Jeep. It's special because I had it custom painted. It's a pink Barbie Jeep. It's pink and it's got purple trim, and it looks just like a Barbie Jeep that I had when I was a little girl. And it says Barbie Jeep on the side of it. It's got flowers on it, and it's just special. I mean, there's not one like it around in my area. There may be another one somewhere. Well, there wouldn't be another one just like it because I designed it. So anyway, uh, I've got this Jeep, and it has these fender flares, and the fender flares, like I said, are purple. They go with my pink Jeep, and there'd been a couple of screws that were kind of loose on the left, on the driver's side. And I'd been trying to fix it and limping along with it. I hadn't worried about it too much, but I, the other day, my boyfriend had ordered some parts. He sent me to order parts in another town that's about an hour away from our town, parts for a lawnmower. And so I had ordered these parts for a lawnmower, and they had come in, and I was supposed to go pick them up. When I ordered them, I paid for them. So the people called me and they said, "Your parts are in, you can come pick them up." So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go pick up those parts. So I take off in my pink Barbie Jeep, and there I am going down the interstate, just happy as a little camper, because I'm always happy when I'm driving that Jeep. I'm driving along down the road, and boom, there goes my fender flare. Well, I'm like, oh shoot, there goes my fender flare. And then I see in the rearview mirror an 18-wheeler behind me drive right over my fender flare. Flare Fender flare, I think that's what they're called. Anyway, it rolls right over it, breaks it into about 10 pieces, and I'm like, oh crap, that was my fender. Oh crap. So anyway, it was gone. And I'm thinking, okay, I mean, what can I do about it? Like I said, we can't go back and change the past, and it was broken. It was way broken. It was beyond broken. There wasn't even fixing it. Wasn't any point stopping on the interstate and running out to get the pieces. I just kept on going, thinking, okay, it's all right. Somehow I'll figure this out. I'll buy another piece, get it custom painted. Whatever has to be done, it'll get done. So I keep on driving, and I get to the store. Well, I've got a new little puppy, and she's about, I guess now she's 11 weeks old. She's going to be an emotional support animal. And it has helped because I cried a lot. And I told you I get emotional. But since I've had the puppy, I've only cried like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. So I think it's helping because I try to focus on her and her needs, and I feel like it gives me purpose. And so anyway, I drag this puppy around with me all the time. So the puppy's in the Jeep with me, and we're driving along the road, driving in the Jeep that now has no fender on one side. Well, we get to the place where I have to get the parts, and I've tied her leash to the glove compartment while I go in so that she won't be like jumping around and crying and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking I'm just going to be in for a second, just for a second. Well, I go in, and it's not for a second because apparently that's the only place that you can buy parts for lawnmowers in the whole county. It must be because there were guys in every shape, size, age range. I mean, ethnic diversity, it doesn't matter. If it was a male, it was represented there. So the next time somebody asks me where they can go to meet me, and I'm going to send them to that store because, by golly, if they can't find it there, they ain't got one because they had them all, and they were all in line. Anyway, didn't take too long, but it took long enough. I got up there and told the guy that I was there to pick up my parts. So he says it'll be $36. And I'm like, no. I paid for this the day that I ordered it. And he's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, yeah, I did. And I had asked the boyfriend before I went. I said, did you leave me the receipt? And he goes, no, I forgot. So I had told him to keep that receipt just in case of this sort of thing, right? But he kept it, but he didn't give it to me. So I tell the guy, double check your records there because I paid for this the day I ordered it. Well, he's looking around, and this other guy walks up, and he asks the other guy, he goes, did she pay for this the day she ordered it? And the guy goes, I don't know. You'll have to look and see. So they're looking and looking, and I'm like, look, I'll bring the receipt. I don't have it with me right now, but I can bring it because I paid that day. So finally he finds it, and he's like, oh, yeah, you did pay. Here you go. Here's your parts. And I'm like, thank you. And I said, you know what, could I have a bag to put these parts in? A plastic bag? And he goes, yeah. Now, I don't usually do that. I don't usually. Must have been like one of those ESP or cognition things, or I don't know what the words are. But anyway, I asked for a plastic bag, and it's a good thing because I get out to the Jeep. And little Miss has jumped out of her seat into my seat, in the driver's seat. I opened the door, and she has proceeded to pee right in my seat. And I'm thinking, you couldn't pee in a perfectly good seat over there where you were sitting in. You had to jump over into my seat and pee. But anyway, such a cute little thing. I didn't even fuss at her. I just got all the parts out of the bag, and I spread the plastic bag in my seat, and I sat down. And there we go. Okay, it's still a good day. It's still a good day. Well, we start driving home, and the light goes on, saying I don't have gas. I'm thinking, great. This is great. No gas. So, we stop at the gas station on the way home. And since this Jeep is custom painted, I originally had a pink gas cap, which somebody stole. They stole it off my gas cap. Off my gas tank, off my, wherever the gas cap goes, it was stolen because it was pink, I guess. So I had subsequently bought one that locks. So now I have one that locks, and it's black. But anyway, I have a key on my keychain with my key to the Jeep, so that whenever I have a key to the Jeep, I have a key to the gas tank. But that's a whole other thing. But I go into Weigel's, and I pay the money for the gas, and I only had like $10. And so I go in, and I'm like, I need $10 gas. They're like, okay. So I go out to the Jeep, and when I get to the Jeep, I realize I'm driving with the spare key. Well, the spare key doesn't happen to have the gas key on it. So I try to open it just to see if, just in case, just by some miracle of fate, the thing will be open. Nope. So I swallow a little bit of pride I've got and walk into Weigel's, and I explain to them that I cannot buy gas because my tank is locked and I don't have the key. And the lady gave me the money, and she goes, have a nice day. And I thought, lady, thank you, but you're just about 1 hour too late with that little bit right there. Just 1 hour too late. I wish I'd gotten that just 1 hour ago, before the fender flew off, before I had the incident at the parts place, and before my seat got peed in, and before I didn't have a key to get the gas. So I get in the Jeep and I pray, and I'm like, Lord, please just let me have enough gas to get home. So I'm driving home watching all the mile markers, because I'm thinking it's just like 2.5 hours till my boyfriend gets off from work. And I thought, if I know what mile marker I'm at when I run out of gas, I can just sit there for a couple of hours and wait for him. I'll call him. And I thank goodness my phone still had a charge, because I thought if my phone doesn't have a charge, he won't even know where I am. So I did have enough gas to get home, thankfully. And I get home and I call him, and he goes, oh, So he says to me, don't you remember that you put a spare gas key on a keychain in the glove box just in case this sort of thing ever happened? Like, had I remembered that, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Because no, I didn't remember that. So, anyway, that 1 hour of my day was not lovely. And I do remember a time in my life when that many not planned for, not awesome events happening within 1 hour would have pretty much put a damper on the whole day. But it really didn't that day. It put a damper on about an hour. And I got home and it was okay and life was still good. And that's when I realized that I have learned a little bit of resilience, because I didn't used to be resilient. I used to be really rigid. And that sort of thing would send me into a tailspin. And now I realize, you know what? Sometimes the winds are blowing from the south, and sometimes the winds are blowing from the north. You just never know. Some days it rains and some days it doesn't. And you just have to go with it. I saw the movie Saving Mr. Banks the other day. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but the lady seems kind of sour. She really does seem sour. And she's talking about the rain. And she says, I don't know why people complain about the rain. And she said, the rain makes things grow. And the guy goes, so does the sun. And she's quiet. And I think that's the thing. I think that it takes the combination of the good and the bad to make up days and to make up life. I think that it can't all be sunshine. It can't all be rain. I think everything is temporary. And I think that day was just an example of sometimes things aren't going to go my way, and it's all right. It's all temporary, and I'll get through it just fine because I've learned a little bit of resilience. So I hope you enjoyed the story. It wasn't my brightest hour, but anyway, I was glad that I recognized that I've learned a little resilience because it was just an hour, and it wasn't that big a deal. I got home, I was safe, and I had the parts, and the dog was all right, and I was none the worse for the wear. So y'all have a good day, and I'll see you again later. Bye.